Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. My first time in Poland, and I'm actually Polish. I'm so grateful to be here. So I want to talk to you today about how to grab Brainshare in a very noisy marketplace, and how to stand out, and how to grab attention when there is a disconnect between attention getters. Take a look at this. If any of you have been in Times Square or Tokyo or Shanghai, picture this for a minute as what's going on inside your customer's brain. All of us have this going on inside our brains at any given moment, correct? It's chaos, there's so much noise, there's so much fighting for our attention. And if you look, every building is covered in billboards, and here are your customers down here not paying any attention. And if you think of yourself as just a pixel on one of those ads, on one of those billboards, on one of those buildings, screaming for attention, and they are just walking by. This is the challenge that we all face today when we're trying to get attention in such a noisy world. For sure, what used to work for all of us to get that attention, it doesn't work anymore. The traditional things that used to work so well, they're gone. And so we're screaming for attention, but the tools that we're using aren't working like they used to. So I want to share with you my strategy to get more Brainshare. And it's 6 things that anybody can do, regardless of your budget, regardless of your business size, regardless of how long you've been in business, to get more attention for your brand from investors, from prospects, from current customers. How do you gain and retain their attention in a really noisy world? So this is called the spades strategy. Anybody play poker? Anybody watch the World Series of Poker on TV? I played in that. Thank you very much. Do not ask me how I did. I don't want to talk about it. So this is why I call it the spades strategy. So the S in spades stands for social proof. What is your social proof? Everybody take out your phone. I'm not going to ask you to give it to someone else. Brian ruined that for us. Take out your phone, please, and open up your browser. And then if you could open up a private window or an incognito window within your browser. It's typically under the 3 dots, and you click that, and it'll say go private or go incognito. Do that, please. And when you get to that point, I want you to Google your own name and see what comes up. Now, the reason I'm having you do this in a private window is because, as many of you know who are far more technologically savvy than I am, that a regular window is going to show you the favorable results that make you very happy. We want the real results about when you Google your own name. What are you finding? A lot of links, yes. Are you happy with your first page results about you? Typically, in a room this size, somebody in the room finds out that they are dead. Is anybody dead? Is anybody in prison? Anybody commit a crime? Anybody a celebrity and you didn't know it? You're a celebrity? Who are you? I'm
an actor.
You're an actor. You didn't even know this. This is fantastic. What else did you find out? Any surprises? Who is perfectly happy with their first page Google search results? Raise your hand if you're thrilled. Who would like for it to be better? Raise your hand. I always want mine to be better. I would like to be more findable. I would like to be more likable so that when somebody is Googling me and they're maybe considering hiring me as a speaker, I want them to see nothing but fabulous things about me. And for you, you are your business. You're the face of your business. Whether you're the owner of the business, it doesn't matter. You're the face of your business. And we know that people are searching for us as individuals. How many of you have a profile on LinkedIn? Okay. You know because you get a message every so often that says, 6 people have looked at your profile. And so we know that we're being searched as individuals all the time. If that's happening on LinkedIn, we know it's happening on Google. So how do you raise your social proof? How do you increase those first page search results? So social proof is basically your online brand, what everybody else is saying about you. How do you control what everybody else says about you? Well, Google is the biggest search engine in the world, except for in China. And YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world now. And guess who owns YouTube? Google. So if we can leverage the power of YouTube, we can impact our search results on Google. And the point of it all, as Brian was just saying, is to humanize ourselves, to be more likable, trustworthy, be more credible, because we are so much more than the four walls that form our company. And people want to make human connections, emotional connections, even with a business. They make a decision based on emotion, and then they justify with statistics, right? We've heard this. So the key then is to leverage YouTube. Everybody in the room, how many of you have a personal YouTube channel? Okay, I challenge all of you within the next week to create your own personal YouTube channel. It increases your search results and your findability. What do you put on there? Well, what I would recommend is video testimonials from your happy customers, your happy investors, your coworkers, anybody that has something nice to say about you. Get that on a video testimonial on your phone. If they're saying something nice to you to your face, especially a customer, if they're coming up to you and saying, "Thank you, you solved my problem, it was so great to work with you," this is the moment where I take out my phone and I say, "Would you mind repeating that into my phone?" And people kind of, okay, don't give them time to think about it. Because we get all freaked out, right, if we think we're going to be on video. I say, "Come on," and I put them against a nice background, and I say 3, 2, and I film them. Now, you have to ask permission. Some of you are with companies where you need to get a waiver signed and whatnot, but I upload these every time I get one to my YouTube channel. I use hashtags to make sure that I'm findable for the right terms, and voila. This has increased my first page search results on Google beautifully. And it's filled now with people who are saying that I am a good speaker, or that whatever impact I had on their lives, they're sharing that. And it's all in the first page. And so if you search for me on Google, you get this great first impression, and I'm not the one saying it. Other people are saying it. And this is what is known as micro-influencers. They're not celebrities. If you can get a celebrity, do that. But if not celebrities, we are all micro-influencers. Who's been on TripAdvisor to look for a vacation or a hotel? We believe what perfect strangers say about a hotel or a destination before we believe what that hotel says about themselves. So micro-influencers matter. The opinions of complete strangers matter to us if we see them as a peer. So we want to leverage those videos to improve our social proof, because it builds trust, likability, credibility. YouTube, I would then leverage those by putting all those videos on your website, keeping them refreshed. And social media, newsletters, anywhere you can put video. Unfortunately, we are no longer a reading society. We are a video society. So written testimonials that used to be so powerful don't matter as much anymore, because they can be faked. They're not as trustworthy as looking into someone's eyes and watching them describe the company that you're considering buying from. So leverage these videos however you can, wherever you can, to raise your own social proof, thereby raising the social proof of your company. Who's going to create their own YouTube channel? Okay, now, my prediction for salespeople, any of you that are in sales, is that 80% of traditional salespeople will be extinct in 10 years. I actually made that prediction 2 years ago, so it's 8 more years. I'm going to be talking about this tomorrow on the Inspire stage, but typically in a room this size, only 20% will do the difficult things. If you consider doing a YouTube channel, you will be a 20%er. and you will be one of the ones who takes the extra step, who goes the extra mile, who does the thing to help themselves raise their own profile. I think that's a pretty good deal. So the P in spades stands for people. As I said before, your company is not the four walls. Your company is not even the technology that you produce. I'm sure you have competitors. Your company is the people that are involved, the people that make up the company, the people that are the face of the company. The people are what build credibility and trust and likability. So take a look at this. Actually, before I show you this, does anybody know what the second most popular page is on your website after your homepage? About us. Interesting, right? So we go to the homepage, we get an opinion of the company, and then most people go to the About Us page to figure out what they stand for, what they're about, who are the people that make up the company. So this matters. This matters to your buyers. This matters to your investors. So take a look at this. This is the About Us page of a car dealership. Now this looks like a prison lineup to me. This is doing nothing to humanize their company. What stands out to you? Bob. Bob with the orange shirt, only because he's wearing an orange shirt. The rest of these guys, if I'm thinking about buying a car and I go to this car dealership and I go, okay, I'm gonna go in and I wanna meet with somebody. Who will I meet with? And I go here, who would you choose? Well, Bob, only because he's like orange, but everybody else, they all kind of look the same to me. They're not doing anything to humanize themselves. So car dealerships have one of the lowest trust rates of any industry. They're not doing anything to help themselves out. Now take a look at this About Us page. This is a company of people. Now, without even reading, your eye is drawn to one of them, right? And it's different for everybody. For me, it's Karen up here who has the baby. Can you imagine putting a picture of yourself on your About Us page of you with your baby in a carrier? Karen did. Now, Rachel is just a picture of a cat, also intriguing. What is Rachel about? I'm not a cat person. Probably wouldn't like Rachel very much. I'm kidding. Oh my gosh. And we've got Dan, we've got Matt in the upper left who's playing the drums. He's going to resonate with certain people. So humanizing ourselves through the video testimonials, through the About Us page, through social media posts, through talking like normal people, through being relatable like normal people. This matters to our customers. They're going to this page right after the homepage. The A in spades stands for authenticity. We hear a ton about authenticity these days, right? It's because it matters to our customers. It still matters. What this means is it is a brand new time in our culture where who's been in the workforce for at least 10 years? Raise your hand. 10 years you've been working outside of school. At least 20 years, anybody? Okay. A couple of you, thank you. So 20 years ago, when I was in the workforce, I had to be a different person than who I really am. We had to be super professional. We had to dress differently. We had to speak differently. We had to write professionally. Today, I think being super professional is a hindrance to building relationships because it doesn't humanize us. We're almost like corporate robots. So finally, we're in an era where we get to be real, and our customers prefer it if we are. They prefer that we are transparent, like when Brian said he made the mistake and he owned the mistake, and he got more opens and more click-throughs because of it. He was likable, he was flawed, and that made him relatable. So take a look at this. I did a buyer study across all industries, and I asked them, what's the most important quality of a salesperson? And all of us, as I said, we all kind of are our company, whether you own it or not. We're all in sales. So they said, well, they need to be reliable and responsive. Of course, that has not changed in 100 years. We want the people that we're doing business with to be reliable and responsive. Number 2, they want you to be trustworthy. Of course they do. That also has not changed in 100 years. Number 3 is new in the past 5 years. They want you to be authentic and non-salesy. How many of you love when you are sold at? Raise your hand. Love it. No. You do. One person. We like when we just have a conversation with somebody, when they're real, when we can tell that they really believe in what they are representing. They believe in what they're doing. They're relatable. They're human. They're not on autopilot, and they're not giving us a sales pitch. So authenticity is super important. Okay, everybody take out your phone or a piece of paper. I have a little activity for you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to come up with 5 different words that you would use to describe your company. Take a minute or two, come up with 5 different words that you would use. If you met me at the party tonight and I would say, oh, what is your company? Tell me about your company. You would say, well, we are, 5 different words. So come up with those for just a moment. When you're done, just put your head down and take a little nap. Fine. Who's done? Okay. 30 more seconds. Okay. Who is willing to share one of their words? I have a prize for you that usually gets people to volunteer. Who said innovative? Raise your hand. Okay. Everybody that used the word innovative, cross off that word, and I'll tell you why later. What else do you have? Bold? Somebody repeat that for me. Oh, okay. So anybody else who has that, cross it off. I'm having trouble hearing. Can somebody up closer repeat what she said? Human. Okay, who has human? If you have human, cross it off. What else? Professional. Who has professional? Cross it off. Sorry? Weak? We. Oh, we. Oh, fantastic. Anybody else have that? That's a good word. You can keep it. Okay, what am I doing? You all in the room are in the same industry. Many of you are in the same country. And if you are using the same words to describe yourself as the person sitting next to you, your customer can't tell the difference. So which brings me to differentiation. The D in spades is for differentiation, which means helping your customer realize what you do and what you stand for as a company, as a person, because you don't look and sound like everybody else. So think about the words that you use when you meet someone today or tonight, or when you write a proposal, or when you meet someone for the first time on social media and they ask what you do. How are you going to describe what you do in a way that none of your competitors would? How are you truly differentiating yourself? How are you standing out and being memorable in the mind of your prospects? So your 5 words, they do matter. Give that some time and think that over. Maybe brainstorm with your team so that you come up with words that nobody else would use. The E in spades stands for education. Now, the sales funnel that we all want we all want prospects to enter our sales funnel and start to consider to buy from us, but that funnel is compressing. It's compressing a lot. The traditional sales funnel doesn't exist anymore. We need to lengthen the sales funnel again and start a relationship with our prospective customers. How do we do that? Well, educating them differently than the things they can find on your website. I would love to suggest video, as Brian talked about. What video can you put out there on social media, on your website, in your newsletter, whatever you do, video of you just talking about something interesting within your company or something within your industry, and start to educate those prospects, start to become the face that they know and the person that they trust. So when it comes time for them to make a purchasing decision, they remember you because they like you already, and you've been the one educating them all this time. The last S in spades stands for solutions. Many of us, especially if you're in technology, we describe features and benefits, but what our customers are looking for are solutions to their problems. Do you know? Do you really know what keeps your customers up at night? So what does your customer want most? If you don't know the answer to that, then you can't really provide the solutions that they want. You can provide what you think they want, and there may be a disconnect. I can tell you that when you are marketing or selling or just talking to someone, there are two solutions that every single one of us in this room want when we're about to make a buying decision. Especially the bigger ticket items, we want to look like a hero for making the right decision. Especially if it's business to business, we have a boss, we have a CEO, we need to look good to keep our jobs, right? And making a recommendation for a new software, hardware, new solution is risky for us. So we need to look good. If you can reassure your prospects that what you do is going to make them look fantastic and then help them with that, when you're done with the process, why not write a handwritten note to their boss saying how fantastic it was to work with them? Amazing, right? The other thing that we want is for it to be easy to make the purchase. Whatever we're buying, a car, a refrigerator, a new solution, we want it to be easy. Is your buying process really easy? And if it is, shout that from the rooftops because that will reassure your customer. If it's not easy, fix it. Talking about being memorable, I want to end with a story. It is about the best holiday card that I ever received, and it happened to be from a tech company. So I was a corporate buyer, business to business, for 20 years. I got marketed at a lot and sold at a lot. And I used a lot of different tools in my business or in my company, and one of them was registration software for conferences like this. And the software was just software. And when it went wrong, I had to call, this is back in the day, I would call a tech person, and I would be angry. I would be annoyed because the thing isn't working. And this faceless, nameless voice on the other end would do their best to solve my problem, and then I would go about my day. Never thought much about it unless it didn't work. One day, around the holidays, I got a card from this company, and it was kind of a thick card, and every page had a different employee of the company and their favorite holiday recipe. And I'm thumbing through the page, and there's David, the tech guy that I always talk to when I'm annoyed. I never saw his face before, and I went, oh, that's David. And his favorite holiday recipe was for Swiss Miss hot chocolate. Directions: take 1 packet of Swiss Miss hot chocolate, add hot water, stir. I loved David after that. David humanized himself. His company helped him do that. Every time I called David from then on, I liked him. I wasn't as annoyed. David was a dude. He was a human being to me then. What are you doing to humanize yourself so that your customer likes you before they even talk to you? They like your company before they even call you up or email you or connect with you in any way. What are you doing to capture their brain share to be more memorable? I suggest that you pick just one of these things and commit to doing it over the next month. And if it works, do another one and keep going. This will work because this is what your customers are screaming that they want right now. Are you listening? Thank you very much.